Hey, Sarah.
Okay. Hey. Oops.
I know. I always look at my hair. Hi, Rohit.
Hello. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Cara. How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Good. Good.
So,
No
how's this
traffic today?
COVID thing going there?
Oh, I mean, I'm in Florida. We opened up. We're good. I mean, it's where I am isn't like, if you've heard of anything, with Florida being like a new hotspot, it's not where I am. It's more Miami and the more crowded areas, but I'm on the, smaller southwest side of the state, and it's just, everybody's careful, but it's very small. We don't like, I don't go to nightclubs, so I don't have to worry about that. The worst is the gym, and there's not that many people there when I go, so it's fine. So I don't know. It's different in Toronto. They're like kind of just opening, right?
Yeah, we've started stage 2, so some outdoor dining and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't go out much either. So.
Yeah, that's true. How about you? Is it starting to open, or
Yeah,
I
it's
have no
starting to
idea.
open.
Yeah, good. That's good.
And Cara, what happened to Jeff? He has moved on.
Yeah, yeah, I miss him. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I miss Jeff, but he just wanted to go in a different direction. He's actually taking some time to say reinvent himself, he said, and he's
Wow.
just, yeah, he wants to do some coaching, and yeah, it was kind of time for him to move on. So, but we definitely miss him here. Like he was good. So,
Hey.
but
Okay, I think Vidhu and Mohit is there.
yeah. Hi, Vidhu. Hi, Mohit. So you did an amazing job of doing our work and coming up with an agenda. We don't have to do anything but go over it. So thank you for that. So I thought I'd just, I don't know if we can see this, but I thought I'd just present the document you have. And we can just kind of go through that.
So, Cara, before we start with this, I mean, what has happened?
Sure.
What has happened today? When we were having this issue, I mean, there was a lot of customer ranks we were facing. So, what was the reason why it has happened actually?
I'm gonna let Sarah do that. She was on top of it like really early today. So
Yeah. So we haven't done a root cause analysis yet, but we had to restart. It was just, I think, 1 or 2 of our video servers that had some issue, and we had to restart that, and that resolved the issue. So, but we're going to go deeper and to understand, why and how to make sure there was some message not triggered that it could have been resolved quicker, or if there's a failover that didn't kick in. So we'll figure that out and let you know.
yeah, we're going to be putting together like a post-mortem on that. So you'll get that. So we provide that to our partners when there's those types of outages, so that you understand the steps that we're taking to prevent it from happening and kind of what happens. So we'll follow up when we know more.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. So I hope you got the email I had sent. I kind of want to start with the APIs, because with the understanding that, at least me and I know Sarah's learning, but like Chris is more in charge of the APIs and Noman, so we're kind of more trying to understand the business case so we can explain. So if you have some things you can send back, so we don't necessarily have to go point by point on the call about the APIs, but we're trying to understand if you can explain to us like what's your opportunity. So if we build X, then that will help you do Y. If we build this part of it, like what's the business case for it. And also it's possible there's a better solution out there. So that's kind of what Gnome was asking us to probe a little bit deeper on, and why I sent those questions back to you, if that makes sense.
I think Anil has shared this with Zeph sometimes back. I mean, they are pretty much very simple APIs that we are requesting for, and I think I have no idea, and we don't understand why IoTM has not developed this yet. I mean, the first one, of course, is API for scheduled conference, right? So whatever integration, at least for this, let's say for this hospital management information system, or say learning management system in education sector, LMS or HMIS, we are trying to integrate. The first thing that they ask is, what is the API to schedule a conference? And no, they want everything to be like automated, but without this API, they had to actually go back to scheduling this conference manually, and then this automatic process starts. So that's one thing. I mean, for any kind of automation with any kind of other softwares, be it any kind of consultation, learning, or with any other enterprise software, they pretty much want the first API as the auto schedule API. That's the reason we asked that for first API. Second, of course, is again this joining APIs,
Oh,
because
wait,
they want.
Sorry, can I stop you there, Ro? Sorry. Well, on the scheduling API, I have a couple of questions about that. Is it important that invites are sent out and reminders when it's scheduled? Is that an important part of this?
Sarah, can you repeat again?
Sorry, is it important that invitations, so there's automatic invitations that happen when you schedule, is it important that those are sent out? That's important. Okay. The other one was, is it important that they can see the meetings in their account? Because you know that you can use it reservationless as well. Meetings don't have to be scheduled to take place, but do people want to see it in their account? Is that crucial?
Sure.
So
good to have feature. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Okay. So hi Sarah, hi Cara. I hope you guys are doing fine.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Rohit has already given you 99.99% answers to your question, but just to answer specifically to Sarah here is, see Sarah, yes, it is good to have feature. However, the whole idea behind this API is primarily two sectors which we are targeting. One is the healthcare, and the other is the education. This thing. Okay. So that's the target segment, and they're very actively looking in terms of, because in India, what is unique here is that every healthcare system, or let's say 10 hospitals have one healthcare system, and 10 have 10 different healthcare systems, and similarly goes for the education system as well. So each one of them are looking in terms of integrating this entire solution in their ARP. Just so now they need two basic things. One is how to schedule it and then send an invite, but that invite would be sent, either we can allow them to send it by our integration, or they can use their own integration as well. So it's both sides.
Mm-hmm. What kind of integration would they use? Would it be something like Outlook, like a calendar application?
Yeah. So usually right now, the more used here is the Outlook calendar, the Microsoft, and then Google is one which has been used heavily. I think primarily these two are the ones which are heavily used in India as of now.
Because I think that the solution here is more what we already have with an Outlook. We call an Outlook add-in, and it pulls the conference information, very similar to a calendar invite, into Outlook, and allows you to really quickly schedule something using your conference details. And I know we want to do that, have a Google integration as well. So I think maybe that's the solution that you might need more than like an API. I don't know if that is technically called an API, but I think that that's
Okay.
really what you're after.
No, not really, Sarah. We're specifically looking for APIs. Why we are saying that is because this API to let me give you an example here.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm from an education, if I'm a college, all right, and I need to have a if I need to have a session at 1 o'clock from 1 to 2, right? And there is a ERP which teachers uses already, an ERP which is there inside the college or school, and using that tool they would be uploading the timetable for the classes, and an invite would be sent out to the teachers and the students that at this point of time your class would happen. So to do that, we would need this start and stop and these APIs so that they can talk to the ERP and then they can send out the invites. I hope
Yeah, that
I'm
makes
making.
sense to me. I that does make sense to me. And just in conversations I've had with a few other organizations, they're healthcare specifically, they're also asking for these types of scheduling APIs. So I think we understand that use case. If you have, it's helpful to us to see if you have any type of like a mock-up or documentation where you're like, this is, how we envision it working. This is what we do. I don't know what your front end looks like for this. This is what we do. This is how we want it to connect. This is what, how we're going to integrate it. That's helpful for us as well. And along those lines, like you're already using the API, right? You've already built that into some aspects of your platform, correct?
Yes, some of them. So
Some,
to
yeah.
be very honest with you, not all, but some of them we have been using and we have been testing some of them, but yeah, not all of them have been consumed because again the story goes back to the scheduling and the thing. So that's where we got get kind of stuck.
So are you using just the simplest case right now? When you have a new customer, how are you doing that manually right now at this point, setting up a new customer with the hosts and
Yes.
subscribing to a plan? Okay. So you're logging in into your WeConference.in and just how we do it here
Yes.
from the back end,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are following your footsteps right now, the manual footsteps.
Right. Okay. All right. And in terms of, I think we were a little thrown by the Join Conference API and not really sure how that, can you kind of walk through that for us and let us know
So,
what the use case
so
would
it's
be
very
there?
yeah, sure. So it's very this thing. So let's say like you are a student and you get an invite to join a conference, right? So now usually what is happening in education specifically here, that same invite goes to multiple people, right? But the colleges wants to restrict it to that specific student only. So that ERP, if we have that joint conference API, that ERP or that system can I don't know, hide that invite or put another invite on top of it. However, it would be calling the actual invite. So the student doesn't see where what he's clicking on. He doesn't get the actual this thing.
Right.
He just get the link to click on it, and at the back end it actually comes to the call to do IOTM to join the conference. So that's the whole idea. That's why we need
So
that
it
API.
recognizes the individual so that it's like a single use case so that
Yeah.
John can get into the meeting and no one else. So it's individually identifying the participant, and that's why you're looking for like a unique user participant ID.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's more of a to ensure the colleges wants to ensure that the only if a college or a healthcare personnel has to join, that guy only joins, not anybody else apart from him, and the access doesn't get uh, published publicly on groups and so on and so forth. So somebody else joins it.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's helpful. Thank you. I know that
So
you've asked. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think I answered the API question. So over back to Rohit.
Yep.
So yeah, please go ahead.
Yep. Okay. Well, I have one more about the API, which is I think you're asking for the ability for us to send back conference details to you, right? So that you don't have to actually log in and run those reports, but something that allows you to collect that information immediately after the meeting is done.
Yes.
Right. And is that for billing purposes? Can you explain a little bit more about how that would help you with the different segments?
So it is more towards the billing side of it only. You're correct. So when we have this I don't know when we have this middleware in between where we can do that. So we want that facility to I mean right now what we do is we go manually and download the report and then put it somewhere and then we do the analyze. I mean then we analyze the report. So instead of doing that manual work, we if we get that, that would be fantastic. So the entire system gets automated, and we don't have to really go back and forth to multiple portals.
Got it. Okay. All right. Okay. That's clear. I just want to make sure I understood that correctly. Sarah, do you have questions? So other questions about that? Just specifically the API request?
Not at this stage, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And are we missing? Those were the ones that I had kind of, jotted down from our emails about that. Am I missing anything? Are there like glaringly obvious things that we didn't cover on the API?
No,
I think
these were
the APIs, right? Which primarily we're looking at. Yeah, I think these are the APIs which we are looking at.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. That's good. And so just so you know, I mean, these I've tried to say these aren't. I don't think they're unreasonable requests. At the same time, we don't have. We may have other providers who are asking for them in the future. So that's all kind of things that we'd love to do. It's not something that's on the roadmap yet, so that's why we want to go back to Gnome and team and say this is why they need them. These are the opportunities. It helps for us to quantify that. So for example, like you've done on your healthcare plan that we're going to be rolling out. You said, listen, if we have this plan, we can do XYZ, and that's meaningful. And it's easy to explain and it's concrete. So if you have any types of opportunities like that and things that you can convey to us about requests for the API, that's helpful as well.
I got your point. We'll surely try and give you a prospective information about that.
Awesome. Okay.
We'll get back to you on that one. However, Cara, we have a request here. So while we understand that it is not in your roadmap, and you don't have a clear picture here, but still, however, we can still wait for the other thing that the CBR we will pull and we'll do and so on and so forth. But the other two APIs are we think that we are really in a hurry in terms of getting those two. So I don't know how we can do it. I mean, we don't mind discussing a quicker way or a shorter way to take a shortcut towards it, whether it's something which is commercially involved or so on and so forth. We are open with it, but at least these two we are in a hurry to close, and how you guys can help, we are open to have a commercial discussion around that as well. I mean, if that something making sense to you. So we are okay with that as well.
Yep, I understand. Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you. So let me do this and just, I have some things that I want to go over, and then probably some are better left for Sarah, but I wanted to touch on the plans and update you on that, and kind of all in one. We've got the request for your 10 participant plan to be built. I don't know. I want to get all this plan work in at one time. So the project request is in. Rohit, I got your your spreadsheet things. So I understand the features, et cetera, on there. I'm also going to be adding the recording, so audio and video recording, as you requested, to the Dial Meet 20 and the Meet 20 plans, right? So the other outstanding questions I have, hold music. We can wrap this into this project request as well. So is there are there any plans you don't want hold music on? Or is that just to be launched across your custom hold music? Sorry.
No, so right now it doesn't show on our portal. I mean, I remember that day when you were giving a webinar series I attended. Over there you showed us one new option, and when I cross-checked with our existing portal, that option was not there. So I just think, I mean, it should be there.
Yeah, no, I fully understand. We have to deploy the custom hold music feature for you, and we can. My question is, do you want that on all of your plans? Do you want that available on all plans, or are there any you want to hold it back from?
No,
if you
no,
need
no.
to
I mean,
think about it, that's fine.
No, fine. It should be available with all plans. It's not such a critical feature to have.
Okay.
So let's open.
Okay, that's yep. And you do have caller display enabled on your plans. That should be rolled out. I don't know if you've added it, but it looks like does it work on your plans?
Yes.
Where you're able
Yes,
to change. Yes. It does. Okay, I thought so. I thought that was taken care of. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. So that's fine. I'm going to roll all that into that one request to do all those plan updates and changes, and then let you know when that's. I assume you don't have the authority yet to purchase the licenses. So yeah, is that still kind of on hold right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me see anything else. Since it's up in the same kind of grouping, we did have a discussion on the large audio participant, the conference room, the 1,000 that you're looking for, and that that's something that internally we have to have a discussion with, because there's a certain minimum amount of servers. This is all based on a discussion I had with Noam earlier this week, that we have to pay for in order for them to sit there and be available for the capacity. So we have to figure out what costs are involved and how we want to, quote that, what it's going to cost us, what we're quoting. So that is kind of where we are with the large participant plan. It's something that we have to have commercial discussions on.
1,000, if 1,000 seems to be a lot, then I think we just want to increase by something. I mean, it could be we are happy with 500 also. We are happy with 300 also. Let's increase it gradually then.
Okay. And I don't know what that point is, so I'll have to find out. So I don't know, if that's the same discussion. Maybe 100 is the maximum, but I will ask about that.
Okay.
All right. Custom music. The video feed, that's 50. I mean, that's something that we want to do. It's something that we're working on. It's not an actionable item that I can tell you is going to be done next week or in the next 2 weeks, but increasing the number of videos is, yes, it's there. We want it. It's on the map. We just don't have an exact time that it's going to be done. And we did want to ask about the Linux app. Sarah, maybe that's something better for you to go over than me.
Yeah. So from our perspective, so we've not found it. When we did have one, people weren't using it because in Linux, Chrome's the default browser, and there's Firefox. People were using that more.
There is one particular customer of ours. They are into judiciary, and all of their system is with the Linux system. All of their systems are Linux, and they particularly wanted to have this Linux application. That's when I checked with you guys, and you said yes, we do have Linux, and hence we requested for it.
Right.
So I'm pretty much sure that there won't be many customers for it, but there is one very specifically they have asked for this application.
And I'm guessing they're a pretty large customer. Is that?
Yes, although they are still not on board, but POC is going on with them. That's a government sector judiciary we are referring to.
Okay. Well, maybe it's something, if you get confirmation that they're ready to, I don't know, Cara,
Yes.
maybe you better,
Yeah.
something that we
Fine.
could do.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can wait.
Yeah. Let us know about that. That might be. I guess the positioning is we don't really have a demand for it. It is difficult to support. And so it's something that would need further discussion and around the particular opportunity. So if you could kind of keep me updated on that opportunity, that would be helpful. And then I can, go back and try to see what it would take for us to do that.
Fine.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think should we talk about I'm gonna hand this to Sarah. Starting with the issues, she's a lot more dialed into the development issues, like the preparing to record, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that one, we're right on top of it. I'll say roughly 1 to 2 weeks. Optimistically, it'll be this week. Optimistically, but I can't. There's no promise we can make. But it's important for us, for every partner. So I know we keep saying that, but I think it's something more challenging than initially thought of. With the scheduling issue, I know I've been back and forth, and I'm not sure who it's with, if it's Alex or.
Yeah, it was Alex.
Okay, because I got an Android 7 device, and our QA team have been testing it. It happens on and off. That's why I just wanted to ask if you've been able to completely restart the device and see if that makes any difference, and just to check the version of the app that you've got installed. But there is one bug with where this unexpected error occurs randomly. It's difficult to reproduce. It doesn't happen every time, and our mobile app engineer, he's working on that. But normally it resolves if you properly quit out of the app and reopen it again.
Yeah, hi Sarah, Alex here. So actually, I just checked that issue. I tried to reproduce this multiple times, and I was able to reproduce that issue on that particular device which I have shared with you over email. So I don't know what is happening there. So every time when we try to schedule a call, I tried restarting the device, restarting application by force closing it or force stop, and then try to use it. But then also we are getting the same error that we are not able to schedule the conference. And the strange thing is that we are not able to join the call as well by dialing that access code. So that's the issue which we are facing, and I'm just trying from past 2 to 3 days. I'm trying to resolve it, but it's not helping us manually.
It's not, from what I understand, it doesn't happen on other Android devices. It's this device specifically.
Yes, on that particular device only we are facing that.
That's the challenge. I don't know if we can. I looked it up. I don't know if we can get our hands on one. Is it something that a lot of you, are a lot of your participants using that kind of a device, or is it a particular company using it, or?
No, we have few devices like this that our customers are using, our teammates are using it. So that's what the feedback we have got from them. And for that scheduling part, we have multiple issues reported by users to us on multiple platforms, on Android and iOS as well, both.
The scheduling issue.
Yeah, the scheduling issue when we try to schedule conference through application. mobile application.
Okay. So it is known if you're using the Android app, and normally the restarting it should fix it. I know it's not happening. Oh, that's the first thing I would suggest to anyone using the Android app. If that doesn't fix it, please let us know. I don't, not to say that that's a permanent fix. The engineer's working on that one. Rex is working on that one. But if it's on iOS, on an iPhone or an iPad, please do share, like open a ticket and share, you know, the which version of EOS they're using, and you know, as much information as possible. Screenshots, if you, I don't know what you can get a hold of. I know it's customers don't always aren't always able to do that, but because it's not a known issue on iPhones or iPads.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just try to reproduce on iOS level, and we'll share the device details with you, and we'll open the ticket for that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and on our side with that device, I'll go back to Rex and see maybe see where we can go from there with that. Okay, thank you. What's the next one? Oh, yeah,
the moderator controls.
Yeah, can you explain in a little more detail? Is that on Windows or Mac? Can you walk us through the replication steps?
Alex, can you help me? Can you do that?
I'm so sorry, I didn't get it. Can you please come again?
The issue with the moderator control, where it actually hides even the zoom is 100% or 90%, or sometimes even less than that.
Yes, let me just check, because on my device I'm getting that properly.
So Sarah, sometimes it happens. I mean, I have experienced this once on my Windows laptop. iOS is fine, but definitely on Windows laptop, once myself have experienced it. And then Alex also reported to me that there are certain customers who were facing this issue. So what happens actually when they open this on Google Chrome and go to their reseller one, where in the left hand setting one, where in the left hand side it has got all the options, and I think probably the last option is moderator control, where we have presentation mode and Q&A mode. So that moderator control option actually is not visible. So last option
settings.
This is the settings. Okay, I gotcha.
Yes.
So okay.
So the last option that a customer actually sees is recording, right? And and actually the when you actually zoom out your display, so when you actually make it around 70%, 80%, then you start seeing this last option over there.
Right.
So it's a very random thing that we get. I mean, yes, Alex.
Okay.
I think that's the issue.
Yes, that's the thing. And one more thing, what we have observed, this issue occurs mostly in Windows 7's Windows 7. We have observed that after zooming it out to 40 to 30, then also we are not getting that moderator control option. Even though we have installed that application, then also we are not able to see that moderator control option. So mostly in Windows 7. Yes, in the setting part.
Okay. Mostly Windows 7. Okay. Sorry, is it also on the desktop app? Is that what you just said?
Yes, and yes. Also on desktop app. So what we used to do, if this issue is reproduced on application, we use to reinstall that application 2 to 3 times, then it fixes.
That's weird. Okay.
But resolve the right now the workaround is they can shrink the screen, and it does work, right? Eventually people can find it. It's not gone forever.
No, it's not gone forever.
All right. Just want to say, we can report it, but I don't know.
There are
First
two
we have to
more issues I
replicate it.
forgot. Sarah, there are two more issues I think we have raised tickets for that also. One was
Okay.
one was while scheduling the conference when we select different time zones. That account kind of it hangs. Like, I mean, once I schedule the conference, then again when I go to schedule different conference, I see that different zones being selected there. It doesn't refreshes
Yeah.
itself.
Right. I noticed that too. I don't know, Sarah, have you ever had anybody bring that up?
Not so.
Maybe
No,
that's expected
actually.
behavior. Maybe that's expected behavior, and you can just. That's really for a scheduling. It's really for ease of scheduling, right? It doesn't.
It doesn't impact the
do
actual
anything.
invite. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have noticed that too. It'll kind of be there, but it's. I mean, it does have. Let's see. Save. I'm just trying to see. So will it be there forever? I'm kind of going through it now. This is 3 time zones. Close. Cancel. Schedule. Yeah. I see. Yeah, it does save your last setting. So.
And when I try to change it, remove it, there is no option as such. I try to refresh it as many as time I want. I mean, it remains there.
Yeah. Here, I'll share my screen quickly here. I was kind of going through it. So yeah, I see that. So I've chosen these 3 time zones, and now I cancel it and I go back to schedule, and you'll see there's the same 3 time zones, and I can't. Oh, I can remove it. There you go. So that does allow you to remove it and reset the savings. So that's probably a feature, not a bug, as we like to say, but really that's probably how they intended it to work, so that if you had worked with those time zones often, you'd be able to use them without going in and resetting them. But since there's a way to delete it, I'm not sure that's a big concern, right? I mean,
sure. No, it's not a big concern. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, I understand. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I never saw this remove capability when I was doing it either. So it's good to know. So that's good. Okay. And did you have another? You had something.
Yes. One more option and one more issue. I mean, this is also we have reported. So when we actually schedule a conference or someone actually invites us, right? It doesn't show in my today's list on the dashboard. And this has been reported by many of our customers.
By many? Okay. I know that we've it's been, our QA team are aware, but it's really difficult to reproduce. We don't understand why it happens, and it happens rarely.
So first thing that Sarah, I want to understand, when does it actually show on our dashboard? So let's say I have received an invitation from Cara, right? I went to my dashboard. I mean, right at 9:30 here, and I couldn't find that invitation on my dashboard. So again, gone back to my mail where this reminder comes, and I have joined it from there. And many a times happens when actually even my teammate schedules a conference, I don't find that in my today's call. But then other day I do find it in my call. I don't understand. I am not able to know. I won't be able to tell you what's the pattern here, but it's very random.
Right.
I don't know. Yes.
In this particular instance, because Cara booked us on Callbridge, so on your WeConference platform, you're not going to see it. But anything booked on the WeConference platform should be visible in the today's calls. But I'm wondering if it's
is it
a one-time zone thing. Yeah.
With the
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, does it matter if it's a one-time access code? Would that have anything to do with it?
I think they should appear, but because we can double. I can't remember what I tested last time. I know I went through it a bunch of times, Rohit, and I couldn't figure it out. But if you're really getting like more than 1 or 2 people reporting that kind of an issue, again, it's like as much.
So I am facing this on daily basis.
daily.
Okay.
Yes. And I don't know how to
Okay.
capture it. I mean, if you can tell me how do I capture this, how do I tell you?
Right.
Right.
So I'll be able to help.
And we're certain they're scheduling through the. I know this is a dumb question, but they were certainly they're scheduling it through the platform. They're not just copying and pasting
Yes.
it and putting it. Okay. All right.
No, it's most of the call it's Vidus. Whenever Vidus schedules, sometimes I get it on my today's call, sometimes I don't. So it's like even in our team, I'm facing this issue.
Okay.
Okay. That's good to know. We can we can test that as well. And if you have if there's any way, it's screenshots, I would think, right? You can see it in your upcoming calls, but it's not on your today's calls, something like that.
If you
Right,
share
Last time when I
okay.
last time when I raised ticket, I did given you screenshots, but then
Okay.
I'll definitely give you again.
Yeah,
So
if
I
you
get
have that
this
happen,
on my email. Yeah, I get this on my email notification, but I don't see it on my dashboard.
Okay.
So I can give you both the screenshots. I think that might help you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it looked like it could have been a one-off glitch because, like my colleague said it. But if it's happening daily, then that can't be a one-off. Okay. Yeah. More screen from recent. Anything today, tomorrow, whatever you have, and I'll take another look at it with the QA team.
Sure. Fine. That's the issue. Don't have any more.
Okay. So,
All right. Then there's a couple things that you were just asking for updates on. So the active speaker tile and gallery view. No one was telling us that that's definitely something we're working on. We're going to be building paging. So, let's say 24 people on one page, and then you can page to the second screen, but that the active speaker will be able to always be on that first screen. So we're working on that, and that is definitely something that we'll be releasing soonish. The speaker and participant view during screen sharing, we're actually starting that development in July. So I'm hoping it'll be started and finished in July. So we can look forward to that. The moderator controls, all of that, everything, moderator control on camera, screen share, whiteboard, all of this are items that we plan on and want to build. Those aren't quite on our roadmap yet, but they go hand in hand with all of these webinar improvements that we want to make. So, that's, unless Sarah, you have more information on that, those are definitely ones that are out there.
Yeah, I think those are for sure, and even the audio option on screen share is something crucial that
I think for point number 11. I think for point number 11 and 12, I think we have lost more customers than we have actually onboarded.
Really?
That's the kind of requirement it has. So I mean, in terms of education, we totally lost this sector. I mean, we couldn't, they wanted is moderator control on, camera, screen share, and whiteboard, and then of course speakers view. They wanted the teacher's image to be visible while they share the screen. Because of these two features, we have lost a lot of customers in the education sector.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. I think that has to be built sooner versus later. Along with the when you say audio option, you mean like video playback, right? The ability to like share some type of audio file in the platform itself.
Yes. So when we actually share our screen and play some video, all the participant can see is the video part of it. They don't get to hear the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's important as well. That's important to us as well. That's high on the priority list. We've had a lot of higher ups.
So, Cara, any tentative data on point 11 and 12?
Probably 11 before 12. But we're making plans for this viewing screen share with the moderator at the same time, the video and the screen share. That we're making plans for our July. Can't think of the word for July. So as soon as I have a little bit more news on that, I'll keep you guys in the loop.
And just so you know, like, we love all of this. I mean, the first thing Noam did when we shared this list with him was said, this is awesome. They're engaged and they're, really, working to find ways for us to improve the platform to help them. So this is we think this is fantastic. And the suggestions are great as well. We're not just looking at them and saying, oh, this is, oh, that's great. We'll maybe do that. We're really paying close attention to them and taking all of this feedback seriously, because it's just more eyes on the platform for us, and partners telling us what they need. So this is very helpful to us when you put this together. I wanted to see if there's anything I had clarification on admin dash for resellers. I'm getting like a general overall sense that, and I'm going to agree with you, that the reporting functionality on the reseller admin is not quite as comprehensive as it should be. It's something that we ask for too. From a CallBridge standpoint, we don't have anything more than what you have. Like, what you have is exactly what we have, and it's difficult for us to manage customers as well sometimes without this. So, for example, when you want to pull up a list of customers on a certain plan or something like that, it isn't easy to do, and a lot of the search fields don't operate as they should. So, I think from that perspective, I understand all of those improvements that you're asking for. See, what else do I want to? I had some specific question for you. The back button. So are you talking about when you go into a customer and you're trying to maneuver, within trying to get from one place to another? If you hit back, you go to the beginning of everything, right? When you're like in your dashboard.
Yes.
Is that what that means? Okay. Admin so what do you mean when you say there should be an admin dashboard for resellers with details of activities?
What happens, I mean, right now our dashboard has got only 4 or 5 options. So it's 4 grids, start your conference and things like that. There should be we have our own enterprise, right? We have our own ERP, and any ERP, the first thing that we see is a dashboard, which clearly says what all customers we have. So I mean, I think Sarah has shared one dashboard with me. It's I forgot the name. What is?
Oh, the Clipfolio.
Clipfolio,
yeah.
right? If that kind of tool is built on this particular dashboard itself, so that we get to know at least the basic details of how many conferences have been scheduled for a particular period of time, what is the usage, how many hosts have been created in a month, so stuff like this. I mean, it becomes useful.
Would you like that inside of the reseller admin portal, or do you mind if it's an external, like on Clipfolio?
I would prefer to have this in this reseller profile dashboard.
Okay.
Okay, so this is more of a metrics type of dashboard than a management.
So the biggest problem that we face is we don't know actually how many host accounts have been created last day, because the provisioning team is else, and as an admin I want to know how many customers has been onboarded, what are the hosts that so I mean these kind of tools will perhaps help us to be more informed informative.
Yeah.
Yep, this is exactly the same challenge that we, for example, our direct sales people face as well. That would be good for us as well to be able to run that and know that. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. I know we've talked about the cost report, so I understand that. You're looking for that, and I think I understand everything else as well. Is there anything you wanted to kind of point out or clarify with the in regards to the suggestions?
No, I mean the common question that we are getting, every other day is, what's the difference between our conferencing plan and webinar plan? Because we are, pitching these two different kind of plan, where up to 100 without YouTube live streaming, we are saying it's a conference plan, and then of course as a webinar plan. So the first counter that we get is webinar, 100 conference for video conference, 100 participants for VC, and 100 participants for webinar. It doesn't make sense, and it's only YouTube live streaming. Plus, there is no moderator control or anything. And when you actually have a webinar, I mean, any other webinar software has got 3-4 basic things. First, of course, is a registration page. Second, so I mean, we lost a big deal. So there is a NASCOM organization over there. So it's a kind of organization for all those software companies. It was a very huge account, and we lost it only because they wanted to have our webinar screen to be divided into 3 different categories. So the header part should have a space for title or anything that you actually want to call it for that particular conference. So let's say header part, which will have a title part. Then the middle part would have a space for all those speakers, or probably a panel of speakers, so that all those 5, 6, or up to, I think they wanted 6 speakers. So up to 6 speakers, they wanted those frames to be freezed in those panel in that middle section. And the lower section, footer, let's call it footer, they wanted to, because it was a big event and there were many sponsors to it, and they wanted sponsors logo, images, names to be written over there. But since we didn't have any kind of any such configuration, so we kind of lost it. We really worked hard for that, but
that's not good, and I see why that would be disappointing. Do you know where they ultimately went? Did they go to Zoom? Did they go to WebEx? Like what webinar
I think they went to
provider?
WebEx. I think they went to WebEx. Yes.
Okay. And WebEx is it's a great platform. So they built it for webinars, but it's expensive. So they were willing clearly to spend money.
And they wanted to start with 200 license. It was a big count.
Yep. Okay. Right. So to that end, have you won some deals? Like, who's your biggest customer right now, and how is that going? And or what can we do to help with that relationship? Are they asking you for more? Is there, aside from what we've discussed?
Everyone is asking for point 11 and 12. They just want timeline.
All right. Okay.
That is a big showstopper for us. I mean,
and would you just want to have those features like on your webinar plan? Would that be the idea?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Well, this is good, because we'd like to have more. So, by the way, we'd like to kind of do these calls regularly with you if you're open to it, at least once a month, more if you need to, or we need to, or whatever. It's not restricted to just once a month, but it's really good to talk through all of these things, even if some of them are the same things that we talked about, but to get an idea of what you're experiencing out there in the marketplace and what you're facing with the competition and what you need from us, because that allows us to go back and say, listen, we want to help them be more successful, and you want to get more business. Well, we have to do this so they can go out and get that business. This is really important to us to do. So hopefully you're open to it. And is there anything
definitely
else?
Want 11 and 12 ASAP. Really, really important. Every single customer.
Got it. Is asking for that. Okay. Well, that's good. We understand those. Those are clear, and I can say that that's good because those are items that we are going to be actively working on very soon. It's not something where I'm going to tell you I don't know. We want to do it, but I don't know. Those are ones that we have sketched out and are going to be implemented. So that's good. And I also have the points on the API that will help you get some business too. So is there anything else you wanted to talk about? No?
Alex, do you have anything else? Alex?
He might not know is he muted? Unmute him? I don't know. I don't know if he was. Yeah.
Okay. I have one quick question, or just
sure.
First, I think Rohit, did you mention the polling feature? I don't know whether you have done that or not in this list.
No, because last time when we had a word with, I think Noam or I think CEO, they said that it won't be available on this platform
at all.
At all. So private chat and polling, I think it won't be available here.
All right.
I mean, I would say it's still worth adding to this list as something that you want as an important to you, not as a promise that we'll build it, not as, but because you just never know, right? If we have, let's say there's an opportunity with a partner in the UK or something, and it's a huge request, and we can say, well, yeah, we have someone else that wants it too. So I think it's worth noting at least that polling is something that, I mean, obviously private chat, but polling I think is something I'll just go ahead and add. If you're interested in getting.
Okay.
If you're fine with private chat, that's okay. Polling is something which we would really like to add onto this list. And the second thing is I don't know whether we discussed this last time or not, but the functionality to allow someone to join a meeting when the meeting has already been started. So I don't know whether that has been into the pipeline or not.
No, it's there into suggestion.
It's there?
Okay. Yeah, it's there. Waiting room should also have moderator control, and participant can only join if a moderator allows.
All right, cool. Yeah,
it's there in the suggestion.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, that's good.
Oh, good.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So these are the two things which I wanted to specifically ask, because there are two things which are coming up. And again, reiterating myself, Cara, we are open in terms for those APIs things to discuss the commercial side of it as well. So I'm really emphasizing on that. Yeah, I'm really emphasizing on that because this is something which we really want to go into the market at a lightning speed right now. So I don't know how quickly we can do that, but I don't mind getting onto another call with shorter version of people and discuss any commercial angle to it if we can put things.
The next steps for that are really if we can get some mock-ups, some examples of what it looks like, how you picture it, and then we can go from there.
So we'll try and give you as much information as possible, Sarah. I'm not promising you that we'll give you or we would be able to give you the entire whole design thing. But yeah, whatever rough work we have done,
a rough idea.
We'll share it with you.
Yeah.
So we'll give you the idea, but I'm not promising you that we'll give you an entire good presentation about things. But yes, whatever rough work we have.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be professional, and even your description of it, even the use case that you presented today, that's very helpful for us to describe, and helps us understand why that's important. So that's good.
Yes. Yeah. So that's about it from my end. Anybody else has any points? Then it's good. Otherwise, we can I don't know. We can move on with our days, I guess.
Yep.
Cara,
Okay.
do we want to plan already the next meeting, like a day
Sure.
that's good for them, or?
Sure, we could.
We would definitely like to hear from you on the feature update. If that's there, then
Yeah.
definitely would like to do it.
I'll be actively in touch with you anyway via email or however Slack, however you prefer. But just
Sure.
to meet properly again with Cara and everyone. Did we want to just like Tuesday full week?
We don't mind doing a weekly call or a fortnight call. To be very honest with you, it depends on you, your availability. We are okay to do a weekly call or a fortnight call. A monthly is, I think, at this moment of time, monthly calls are too far. I mean,
too
too
far
long.
apart. Okay, that's fine. Yep, no problem. Yep. But we will do. Let's set this up. Let's set another call up for. Just looking at some weeks. Make sure everybody's here. Maybe the couple weeks. The 13th, 14th of July. Is that good? I think that's about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We're okay with that.
Great. Okay. I'll schedule it right after we hang up here, so we have that in place.
Sure.
And we will be providing updates as we get them. Obviously, like I will confirm when the plan is done, when custom hold is on there, the bugs, the things we're fixing, we'll be communicating with you. Any feedback that we're able to get on the API, maybe we'll need to have a separate call on the API. I don't know, but that's just this next call is so we have like a regular check-in in place.
Yeah, I would prefer a separate call in terms of if we are discussing the commercials and all. Otherwise, I'm okay with discussing on a regular
Sure.
basis if it's not commercial. If it's anything related to commercials, I think we will have a separate or a smaller call where not everybody is required.
Yep, I agree. Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know it's later by you. We appreciate it. I will set up the next call and we will be sending you updates and get back to you as we can.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time, Cara, Sarah. Thank you.
Sarah, just a second. I just want to understand. Over here, like you have presenting it, right? There is an option to kind of use different kind of pens, colors, right? And as far as I understand, that's what annotation is, right? Or how different is annotation that we have right now?
Like doing
annotation
this?
as a feature?
Do you mean
there is a feature? Yeah, annotation basically is meant to highlight or use different kind of pens or something. Basically to highlight or draw anything on the page. That's what annotation is. And as far as my understanding goes, with this Callbridge or vConference, this feature is readily available. But then I don't see anywhere, at least in your website also, there is nowhere it's mentioned annotation as a feature which is available. Right. So that's what I want to understand. Is annotation different from what we have right now?
We call it the whiteboard. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just terminology. We should add annotation and make it searchable, because what I was doing here, and forgive me, I was doing my own typing it on a different Word document when I was taking notes. But you can do that here, right? You can annotate, you can draw, you can do anything you want, and then you can save it and download it and keep it. So that is annotation, and that's a good point. We should make it cross-referenced on the support articles because we just call it a whiteboard. But I think annotation is a better word for us to use.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be any different. So. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks, Rohit. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the week.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.